Hello, my name's Critter Bear. I am the head foamsmith of the LARP Dagorath, and today I'm going to be teaching you about the loner weapons and the basic rules of Dagorath. If you have any additional weapons that are not here, be sure to check out the other videos. The first and most important rule is no hitting in the head or neck with any of the melee weapons. There are some projectiles that can hit you in the head or neck, but we'll go over those later. If you hit somebody in the head or neck with something you're not supposed to, you instantly die because you broke the most important safety rule. Anytime that you die in the game, you fake your death dramatically and you fall to the ground. If you don't feel safe falling where you are, you can always fake your death dramatically to the side. If you need to walk around the battlefield after you have died, put your weapon on your head to signify I am dead, please stop hitting me. But you don't want to die because you broke the rules, you want to learn how to kill your enemies. There are two ways. Torso shots are instant death, or any two limbs lost. Torso shots are chest, stomach, back, butt, and crotch. We never aim for the crotch on purpose, but if we hit someone there, don't do it again. Or any two limbs lost, that's arm, leg, or any combination of the two. If it is your arm, that is your shoulder socket all the way down to your fingertips. You get hit there, you put your arm behind your back and you keep playing. Since two limb shots is death, you can lose one limb and keep playing. If that arm was holding a weapon, you just drop it and pick it up with your other arm. If you get hit in your wounded arm again, pretend that it's not there and it would go through to your torso and you would be dead. If it is your leg, it is your hip socket all the way down to your toes. If you get hit anywhere there, you would go down to one knee. Wounded leg is down, good leg is forward. You can still move by dragging your injured leg beside you or lunge with your good leg. Or if you're more comfortable, you can walk on both knees. If a teammate comes and puts their arm on your shoulder, you can then walk while they're touching you. When they let go, you kneel down again. Since it's two limbs lost, if you get hit anywhere else, you are dead. For our loner gear, there are two types of melee weapons. The sword is slashing and stabbing. You chop with the edge of the sword, you do not paddle with the flat. The loner gear is easy because the blade edge is cloth and the flats are rubber. You only hit with the cloth part of the weapon. So for the sword, you slash with the edge or stab with the top. Be sure to hold the weapon by the proper handle. If you touch the blade, you take damage. For all weapons and equipment, you're only allowed to hold one item per hand. The other two weapons are stabbing only, that is the dagger and the spear. Be aware that some weapons have pommel spikes that work just like a dagger. You can block and parry with the pole of the spear, but you do not hit people with it. The spear is special because it can also be used as a projectile. The javelin is the only loner item that is a projectile. You are not allowed to throw anything that isn't specifically a projectile. When used as a projectile, it can hit in the head or neck and counts as a kill when you do so. The rule on all projectiles is it must travel its full length in distance before it is allowed to hit someone. So if the javelin is this long, the enemy must be that far away. If you are unsure that you are far enough away, back up until you are sure. The javelin can only target the head or neck when it is thrown. The javelin is the only projectile you are allowed to block with. Since the javelin is padded through its entire length, you are allowed to block and deflect it with your hands, weapons, and shields. Arrows and crossbow bolts are different because you can only block them with a shield. Since arrows and crossbow bolts cannot be padded at their nock, if you block them with your hands or weapons, you are considered dead for safety reasons. If your weapon gets in the way of an arrow, it is considered to have passed through and hit anything behind it. If your sword is away from you and it would pass through to nothing, then you're fine. Other throwing weapons are all foam in construction. Their damage works just like melee weapons, they never hit in the head or neck. And they can be blocked with shields and weapons. The rock only targets the head. Guns are another special weapon that fire bullets and work in the exact same way, except can only be blocked by a shield. Shields are a piece of loner equipment, but are not a weapon. A shield check is whenever you're 2 steps or closer and you can push anyone in any direction. A shield bash is whenever you are 3 or more steps away and you can only shield bash from the front. You cannot bash from the sides or the back. If you were to bash somebody from behind, you would have to stop first and then push. You can also kick a shield, but it has to be a single stomp and it has to be on a shield that is bigger than our loner gear. That is only to move a shield around. You are never to kick at a person. Shields are only for blocking. You are never to strike at someone with the edge of a shield. Common weapons are under 4 feet long. Great weapons are 4 feet or longer, and when wielded with 2 hands can break a shield in 2 hits. If a great weapon wielder is missing an arm or using the weapon with 1 hand, it is considered a common weapon and cannot break shields. Only slashing and bludgeoning damage can break a shield. Stabbing, it does nothing. Great weapons also affect armor differently. With common weapons, you have to hit the armor twice or stab with 2 hands for the person to take damage. Though armor only covers where it physically is, you can always just aim where there isn't armor. Single-handed stabs do nothing to armor. A great weapon wielded with 2 hands completely ignores armor. A helm is a special piece of armor that protects the head from all projectiles. Grappling is allowed in the game, but if you are wearing rigid armor, you are not allowed to initiate grappling. Grappling is a simple push or pull. There are no chokes or holds. It is just to move people and equipment around. We typically don't grapple small children unless you personally know them. There are some people who play with each other rougher, but they have permission to do so. Just because you see something, don't assume that you can. When grappling weapons, make sure you do not touch the striking surface. Grappling like this is fine. Grappling like this will make you take damage. This is a fantasy LARP. We do have characters, different abilities, and magic. When playing, nobody expects you to remember all the different types of magic. Spell balls do damage just like arrows. Head, neck, and torso are death, limbs wound just as normal. Certain spell balls have special effects, and if you hear the keywords, role play along. But if you don't know what to do, no one's gonna be upset if you just take damage instead. Spell balls can be blocked by weapons and shields, but do go straight through armor. Spell bolts are shaped just like javelins, but cannot be blocked by weapons and shields. Some common character abilities that you'll run into is poison weapon, fire weapon, and magic weapon. If someone yells poison when they strike you, that also kills on limb strikes with a 10-second delay. When someone yells fire when striking a shield, that shield is broken in 1 hit. When someone yells magic weapon when striking you, your clothing, or anything that you're carrying, you are instantly dead. Different character abilities can give players various buffs. So if you're fighting someone and they don't immediately die, please give them the benefit of the doubt. This is an honor game requiring people to trust each other and size up their fights. If you're ever confused or have a disagreement, take it off the battlefield. You can talk to them out of game, or if you're uncomfortable, you can get a referee and we can talk to them for you. When striking with the weapons, this is a medium force game for all ages. A hit is a nice solid thump. That is your maximum. You're never to hit harder than that. That is for someone your own size. If you're fighting someone smaller, please hit them lighter. Other than that, keep the fighting inside the ropes. If you step outside, you instantly die. We have a lot of different game types. Each individual battle will be explained before the game begins. Those are all the basic rules. Please check out the other videos if you have any other equipment or questions.